What's going on, guys? In today's video, I'm going to show you guys how to unlock the EAHORA M1PS. Now, not to be confused with the M1P, you can also unlock that one as well, but I'm going to show you how to access the MrCentralDriver controller and change every single setting. So if you know what you're doing in that app, you can change anything possible on this unit. Now, this does have a 150 amp controller. It doesn't run at that. It runs at 70 amps, and we do have a 100 amp breaker on here, so we can't go any higher than 100 amps. But I have been tweaking on it, and we're gonna do some tests going back and forth to the action cam after I make these settings. One of the coolest things you could do on this thing is you could get rid of that park mode, that irritating park mode when you come up to a light and it goes off on 8 seconds and you have to hit the brakes or hold them. I hated that. You can also get rid of the kickstand sensor if you want to, but I probably wouldn't recommend that, but hey, do what you want. So without further ado, let me show you guys how to get started on modifying this thing to make it faster. So the first thing you need to do is take off the side panel. It's very easy. You can see there's 3 bolt holes right there. They're Allen's. One is going to be right here. Another one is tucked in right back there. And then the other one is right at the top right here. Once you remove those, you can get access to the controller. The next thing you're gonna need, and you're gonna have to buy this on the website, and I don't think it costs that much. I'll put links down in the description so you can find it, but it's gonna be this Bluetooth dongle right here. And this is just a free cable. This is not connected. This doesn't come with the bike. You have to purchase this separately. All it does is plug into this pigtail right here, and if I look at the wire, so you make sure to plug it into the right one, no high voltage without guarantee repair. So just make sure you're gonna plug it into this. There's only one cable that this will slide into. Once this is connected, you gotta turn the bike on, and you're gonna see it flashing red. Now, it's gonna turn like a solid red once you connect it to your phone. So you should be able to see my phone right now, and what we need to do is open that MrCentralDriver controller that I told you to download, or check the link in the description. So here is where you kind of might run into some issues. It's gonna ask for a phone number. It's gonna ask for an input verification code. I couldn't get this to work. So sometimes you can just exit out of this and hit return, and sometimes it will just automatically connect. And you can tell it's connecting because right on the bottom, next to it says Open Pro, it says the frames, and the frames, the number keeps going up by the hundreds. Well, that means it's connected. So if I come over here, mine automatically connected, but if yours doesn't, you basically just have to hit this right here and hit connect, and then it will bound to your controller, and you're good to go. If it gives you any issues and tells you need to sign up, put a fake email in there and hit submit, and you're not gonna get any type of email. It never works. Then just exit out of that, hit return, and then when you come to the screen, it should automatically connect. That's how I got it working. So now that you know that, you can come in here and see all the settings for the EAHORA M1PS. Now before, if you look at the top where it says voltage and power, it was actually at 72 volt, 3000 watts. I changed it to 4000 watts. The line current, phase current, was at 70 instead of 100. And so I changed that to 100. I tried changing it to 150. The motor did not like that. I don't know what this battery is rated for. I'm pretty sure I could take it out. There may be some numbers on it, but I'm not 100% sure. But I can really feel it not getting the power to the motor, and it was like bucking, and you get this, it's like detonation in a car. I can hear it not running smoothly. So I just put it at 100 amps, and I put it at 72 volts and 4000 watts. Now, what's cool is obviously you can come in here. Oh, I gotta bind the thing again. Okay, so this is what I was telling you about. So you're gonna come in here, you're gonna have to do a login, put some like random like email in or something like this. I don't want to put mine because I don't need people blowing me up right now. And all right, it's going to tell me to open that, and then you can close it. You should be able to come back, and you should be able to now come in here. So see how easy that was? That's kind of funny that you don't need to do anything. So anyways, you can change the voltage if you want. Don't do that because your battery is 72 volt, but if you wanted to go higher than that, you could put a custom battery in here and maybe get a little bit more power out of it. You definitely probably get more top speed out of it. Let's see. This gear high power output ratio, it was at 99. I put it to 100. I put the gear high speed, I put that 100 too. And then here's some of the cool features that you're really gonna like. So cruise control. I don't know how you get cruise control working, but it's enabled somehow. The park feature, you can get rid of the park feature if you want. See how it says auto return to park function? I got rid of that, but I also wanted it to stay in park when I turned the vehicle on. Also, you can do other stuff where I had it so it automatically remembers the last gear I was in. So as soon as I turn it on, it will go into 3. So I think that's pretty cool instead of it going into 2 and you always have to go up in power modes. But if you have other people ride it, then, you know, be on the safe side. Now, so obviously you have all these settings to change whatever you want in here, but you can also go into the pro settings. And this is where it gets really confusing. And I'm not gonna go through here and act like I know what's going on because this is my first time accessing a MrCentralDriver controller. But when you come in here, this is where you can go through all your stuff. Motor direction, you're not gonna change because if it was spinning the other way, you would put it at 1. Rated voltage is the same. Max speed, 1200 RPM, just leave that at that. Rated power, 4000 watts. Rated speed, we might be able to change the rated speed, not exactly sure. Boosted line current is at the highest at 150. Boost phase current, that's at the max as well. Now there is some other settings you can go in here, like weak character response. This is, if you tap that, you can go into, I believe this is like field weakening, if I'm not mistaken. And if you hit 1, it should give us a little bit more like top speed. Well, it's gonna generate a lot of heat, but it's just, there's so much stuff you can do in here. I'm just really trying to show you how to access this, but without telling you everything to change, because I'm not trying to mess this up. I'm not trying to brick it, but I'm also trying to go as fast as heck, you know, right? This is pretty cool. So your RPM, you can change all your RPMs for the power you want. I think I want 90, let's do 99 at 500, and let's do 95% at that, and then let's bump this up to 90. Okay, so I think my other camera cut off, and if it didn't finish what I was saying, basically I changed the RPM at the start level of like 550 RPM and 1000 RPM, and I basically put 99%, 95%, and 90% just to give it a little bit more power taking off. So this should take off pretty well. We also upped the amps to 100, and then when I turn it on, I want you guys to see that it goes right into P mode because that's what I have it set at. But as soon as I hit the brakes or anything, it goes into gear number 3. So it's always in the highest mode for me. I like that. And then you'll also notice if I sit here for more than 8 seconds, that park mode will not come back. And hopefully you guys can see the display because it is really bright out here. And yeah, so it's not going back in the park. And I love that because that was such a huge downside when I'd be at a light and I would have to remember to do that. So without further ado, I want to show you guys how much better this thing feels with the power. Now, I obviously didn't put this back because I do plan on coming back into the garage and seeing if we can lower the power down, and I can show you that we're actually really changing the power on this thing, and we're really connected into the controller. So I know there's gonna be some people saying like, no, you need a license to be able to get into that controller, and you really don't. So, without further ado, I'm gonna take it a little slow because I don't want to kill the battery too much just in case we take a few runs out here. Let's go this way, and I'm gonna start from a standstill. Start at this little line right here, and I'll show you guys. So here we go. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, definitely takes off much, much better. Now I'm curious to see if we have a little bit more top speed. Not 100% sure, but no. It didn't seem like it liked that. I can hear the motor in the back kind of vibrating, and it just wasn't liking that type of power. So I think the field weakening that we changed, the weak response on 1, I'm probably just gonna lower that back to 0 and see if we have the same issue. So I can do all of this on the fly. So what I'm basically gonna do, I'm just gonna take my glove off. We're gonna turn this off, turn it back on. We're gonna go back into the MrCentralDriver controller, and let's go into simple mode so we can get back into here. Let's hit connect, and then you have to do the login all over again. So come into the login, type in some random stuff. It says you're gonna get a verification thing, hit return, and then you should be able to go back into your settings. And what I do is I just like to hit one quick thing. So see, it's not connected yet. So I just wanna do this all over again, hit verify, return. Let's see if it now lets me do it because it's real finicky, but there we go. So now it's connected to the controller, and now we can go back through our stuff. So obviously the P function is still on there for park, and you can change the times on everything. Like you got to go in here and to start tweaking stuff and have some fun. Let's see. So I'm gonna change weak response. Let's go back to none, because it was having a little bit of issues. And I'm gonna do the limit speed. Let's do 2900 RPM. Now everything else I'm not gonna change, because anything over 100 amps, this bike just does not do well, like picking up the speed, and I am not trying to mess anything up on here. And you'll feel it. You'll definitely feel it when riding it. All right, so that is now saved on there. All you have to do is you're gonna see the screen is flashing E10, E10. You just have to turn it off, turn it back on, and all your settings will be up there. And we're good to go. Back in park mode, and it's in 3 right off the bat. And let's see. Yeah, this thing's awesome. Woohoo! Yeah, it's not crazy power. It's not like we added a whole ton of power to this thing. What's this car doing? Alrighty. But we definitely added enough power to go a little faster. And not top speed wise, I'm just talking about picking up speed, because we're definitely still limited on some of the parts on here. So anyway, let's go down that same street and we'll get a good running start at it. And let's see if we have that high-end issue that I was experiencing. It could also be the amps as well. That might be a reason why they turn it down to 70 amps. Let's go. We'll get a longer runway. We don't care about the police. We're out of here. We're gone. All right, we're past 40. And yeah, okay, so I'm experiencing a little tiny bit of it after 48 now, which means we'll probably actually have to turn the power down, which that's unfortunate. Definitely unfortunate. I would really like to have a solid 100 amps just hauling ass everywhere, but it's not worth killing the motor and then being out a bike and having to fix it yourself because you just voided your warranty by going into the controller. Let's go down to 80 amps, which is gonna give us less torque, but it will also maybe give us the same top speed that we were getting a long time ago, which is around 52-ish on average. I think max I hit was like 55. So again, I gotta do the same thing again. I'm just gonna leave it connected this time so I don't have to keep doing this every single time we stop. But all right, it says it's connected and it's just waiting bound. So let's just do that login thing, hit verify and get out of here, hit return. And might take a second for it to go through because it hasn't went through yet. And let's see, yeah, it's still the biggest pain in the ass doing this when you want to like mess with it every single time. But we should be good to go now. There we go. Okay, now it's binded together. And I'm gonna just leave this up in here. And also you have the screen where it says your power, your speed, your motor temp, battery capacity, everything, MOSFET temperature. It's so awesome. You can also adjust how you want the throttle input to be as well. Like you can have it where you barely turn it, it just takes off like gives you all the power. It doesn't like ramp up in speed. You can change that if you want, which is super cool. Let's go into, where was I at? I need to go into advanced settings. We're gonna lower this down. Let's try 80 and see how well that works. Also, rated power can also be another thing we got to turn down. So if keeping that at 100 and turning rated power down to 3000 helps, then we can do that too. But I'm just gonna save that. Oh wow, this definitely has a much slower start. Wow. Yeah, that's way different now. It's way slower, but let's see if I have that issue at the top speed. We might not because we lowered the power down. Another thing too is we can mess with the RPM power on how much it's taking. Oh, there we go. Nice and smooth now. Oh, I'm starting to feel it. Oh yeah, right at 50 miles an hour, the motor did not seem happy. All right, so we're getting somewhere. But basically all this video is to show you how to get in there, mess around with some stuff, have some fun with this thing. Be careful though. I'm not gonna say if you mess something up, it's my fault. You know, I'm just trying to help you out to have fun on the stuff that you bought. I feel like anything that we buy, we should be able to mess with and tinker. That's how I feel, you know, it's our own product and have fun, just be safe, you know, don't be stupid. But anyways, I'm gonna mess around with this one more time and see if we can get it a little tiny bit better. What I wanna do is I'm gonna go up to 90 amps, but I'm gonna take the wattage down to 3000. I wanna see if that changes anything. because this battery should be rated for 100 amps for sure, if not 120 amps. Again, I haven't went in there and looked at it, so someone might know a little bit better than me, but you know what? Let's do 3,250 watts, and I'll keep the 80 amps on there. So let's just save that. All right, you hear that little beep, and now let's try it. Now, I'm not expecting to get up to 55 miles an hour again because obviously this whole side panel is gone. So yeah, I'm just having fun out here. If you realize when you turn this thing back on and it keeps doing the E10, that's because you probably got to close the app because the app keeps connecting. There, it should be good now. All right, you got to turn it off and turn it back on. Now we should be able to be good. The app, if it's connected, will not allow you to move this thing. The only time it will ever move is if you end up doing the auto learn feature, which is pretty cool. It will automatically learn the motor and all that kind of stuff. So you can do that if you want, but I'm pretty sure the company did that from factory, and unless you're really tweaking some crazy settings on this, I think you should just leave it alone. But anyway, let's get on the main street and let's see how well this performs. All right, here we go, guys. Now keep in mind that the battery is going down little by little. I'm full throttle. God, do I miss that 100 amps. All right, oh, we're going against the wind. This is gonna be really bad, actually, for testing. I'm not feeling any bucking in the motor, though. Not feeling too bad, but it's nice and smooth still, but we can't retest speed because the wind. Oh, there we go, there's 50 miles an hour. Oh yeah, not bad at all. Let's do a quick little U-turn right here. Let's go down the same way because we got the wind blowing with us. So here we go. 30 miles an hour, 35, 40, 44, 45, 48, 49. Motor's still holding on pretty well. 53 roughly I saw for a brief second, but that's all we're getting. All right, there you go. Well, the main reason you're gonna be doing this is because you're gonna wanna up the torque out of this thing, but trying to up the top speed out of this thing, I don't think is gonna be ideal, but hey, if you guys are more of a wizard on doing this, then hey, you can come in here and mess around with it. And this is not helping, again, all these cables being right here, so maybe we would've hit like, I don't know, 54 or 55, but I won't know until we put this on. So we're definitely gonna be doing another video where I kind of tweak it on the fly as we ride, just like we did today. We're not gonna film in the garage because it's too hot to film in there. Camera's turning off and making my videos turn into shit because can't have some good equipment without it overheating. All right, guys, so there you go. That's everything you need to know to get into the controller and a few settings that you can possibly change, but there's so much more advanced stuff that you can do in there, but I'm personally not gonna get into it just because I don't really feel like messing this up too much, but I also love tinkering with stuff. I love having some fun. So off camera, I'll probably go through some settings and change a bunch of stuff. One thing I will mention though, is you might want to screenshot everything in the controller if you do this mod and get the Bluetooth dongle, because if you mess something up and you hit restore and it doesn't restore it back to what it was from the factory when they sent this bike out, you're not gonna remember anything in there. So screenshot a bunch of everything, start tweaking some stuff, have some fun, just understand it's gonna void your warranty, but hey, that's the fun of all this stuff, right? I actually don't even know where you'd find a motor and rim like that. I have no idea. So when you feel it kind of bucking in the back and the power's not consistently even, you'll feel it. You'll definitely feel it in the seat, and then you know to back off and lower your settings down because it's just too much. But go have some fun, put a different battery in it, up the voltage, do what you guys want. I'm out of here. Thanks for watching, and you guys are the true MVPs. No, seriously, I'm really gonna be messing around with this thing like for next couple like hours, just tweaking some settings.